Okay, welcome back. So many of our friends out there might already be familiar with our YouTube channel, Diapers and Lip Gloss. We love YouTube. In addition to our wonderful parenting talk show, Vanessa and Melissa, we do vlogging on YouTube. And we have come across some incredible women, moms on YouTube, great channels.
Yeah, we definitely have made a lot of awesome relationships and met some wicked moms.
Totally.
Totally. And so we were really, starstruck and in awe. And when we came across Amanda Muse, because she is what we would like to call a YouTube sensation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna call her the mommy YouTube queen. She has her videos have been viewed over 2.5 million times, and she has over 30,000 followers. And so we were so excited when Amanda said that she would join us on our TV show. Thank you so much for joining us today, Amanda.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
What an introduction.
Wow.
I know, it's like red carpet for you.
You have some flashing.
I'm ready.
So how does that feel being labeled a YouTube sensation?
It's funny. It's a surreal thing because I think as most YouTubers, you start out by yourself with a camera, like talking to people, but you're not really sure what.
Yeah, you're like,
how
hello,
many.
everybody listening.
Absolutely. So it's a weird thing, but it feels nice because I've worked really hard on it for just over 3 years now. So.
And you have a great channel. And for anybody who might not know who you are, I don't know how you would, but in case you don't, can you tell us how you got started? Where you began, your roots, that kind of thing on YouTube.
Sure. So, like I said, I started about 3.5 years ago, and I was living in Malaysia at the time, and my daughter was about 6 months old, and I had been watching all these moms, whether it be pregnancy videos or just family lifestyle things, DIYs, the works, vlogs, and I realized I wanted in on this community, and I had felt a little bit isolated, being, this in Malaysia having a baby and not really finding my mama tribe out there. And I thought, well, may as well try and create one. And so I started, I got into it, found a camera, and I think my first video was even on my iPhone in a moo-moo. And I know I still have that video is not there anymore. But I still have there. It's like private. But I do have
one too.
But I know I have subscribers who go, I was watching like the moo-moo video, and I thought, are you kidding me? Like, this is amazing. So just following along. And so, to classify my channel, it's like, well, it's definitely, a parenting oriented type of channel, but it's just kind of about me and what I'm interested in. So we do family weekly vlogs, and we do, soft advice and beauty videos and lifestyle things and hacks and toddler activities. So whole gamut, travel stuff.
I know. Did you ever imagine it would get this big?
I think it's important to have goals and aspirations for your channel. So, I mean, of course, I go, I'd love to have 1,000 subscribers. I remember that was a big deal.
Isn't it funny, the numbers that you have, your milestone marks, right? You're like, to get to this, to get to that, and then it's like, wow, it goes.
And then all of a sudden it just booms. And,
right.
And I think YouTube's a lot about networking and who you know, and I got a little shout out here and a shout out there, and then all of a sudden it's just going and going. And it's a little overwhelming sometimes when you think about the volume of people watching you. But I have to say, like, my little corner of YouTube is pretty positive. Like,
which is great.
Which is why we love you.
Thank you.
We do. I mean, that's one of the nicest things about you is that you're in this parenting world, but you're putting such a positive spin on it.
Because we talked earlier about mommy judging and mommy wars, and that does exist out there, and it's kind of prevalent. So you are away from that kind of drama with the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, it's, even though I feel like I do talk about trigger subjects like breastfeeding and co-sleeping and all that stuff, being a stay-at-home mom, which is not as common, I find, back in Canada now. But somehow I try to do it in a way that's remaining authentic, and I'm not trying to prove anything, but more just, this is who I am, and I embrace you for your choices and your decisions, so hopefully you can do the same for me and try to do it with a smile kind of thing.
And clearly you're so relatable because you've created this enormous audience of moms and parents who love watching you and your family and all the different subjects that you talk about. So now, like, your kids are on this with you sometimes. Is your husband on as well? It's just
not a chance.
So he's like, no?
I think no. He's like the man of mystery on my channel. Occasionally I get him like in the background, and I'm like,
profile.
And you should see me editing this process, like the jammies. I'm sitting in the jammies on the computer. I'm thinking, I should really cut that out, but forget it. Like, they love it, and I swear my viewers are like, we saw him. They know his name, but I think he just prefers. He's my biggest supporter. The first thing he tells people, oh, my wife, she has this YouTube channel. I always hear him talking about it, but never wants to be on it. Maybe in time, I'm hopefully may come around, but
that's fantastic that he supports you, because you need that when you're doing this kind of thing, right? It's very involved, and you need that kind of support.
Totally.
Absolutely.
So You mentioned briefly that you lived overseas.
I did.
And what was that like? I mean, I think that a lot of moms, we travel with our kids and it's, you know,
Or we
we
aspire.
aspire to travel with our kids, or, you know, we get out the door and we go back in the door because traveling's not easy.
Just getting the grocery store is a struggle. How did you get to Malaysia?
How did you get to Malaysia and how did you get back?
Getting there was easier. There was no babies involved. It was like a suitcase and a backpack.
Oh, so that was like wine and fun. On the way
Yeah,
there.
okay.
Right there. Sun tanning, you name it. Pad Thai, it was awesome. But I think just being a foreigner in a foreign place kind of thing, I chose to make that place my home. And I think that's what really was a turning point for me. It was really difficult at first. You miss all the things from home. You miss, even though everything was there. I mean, there was the Starbucks and everything.
Yeah, they have Starbucks.
They did. She's okay now. She's okay.
Starbucks and McDonald's. I remember telling a friend, like, you know, a Big Mac tastes the same everywhere. It's kind of like
The universal burger.
And I'm back home again with my Big Mac and my Starbucks.
the keep it real thing, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So, but that was challenging to be there. But I think once you embrace a place as your home, and of course having my babies there really feel like solidified my place in Malaysia, and you just get, you get into your groove. I felt like the first year was really hard, but by year 2, I think like year 2 of anywhere that you're living, I've lived in a few places now, like all over Canada, but year 2, you like the restaurants, you know where you want to go, you do your groceries at a certain place, you have your routines, and you sort of fall into it. But I really embraced it, where I felt like a lot of my friends and acquaintances, they went home every, 4 to 6 months. And so
we saw a vlog where you're talking about your brother's wedding or somebody's
Yes.
wedding, and are you gonna go? And like it's a big deal, and you could tell, like, you didn't seem like you were coming back constantly.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And I missed his wedding, and that's something that I had to really think about.
But there's realities, right?
There's reality. I had a brand new-ish baby. She was
Yeah.
like 6 months old, and I think that's really you have to make those tough decisions. And the fact is it's not all roses and sunshine. There's a lot that you gain, and there's a lot you give up. And I'm also dealing with that coming back. Like there's the reverse culture shock, and everyone's like,
saw that video too.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I really felt it.
Yeah.
So we basically sit around and watch your video.
We never watch you.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you talk about making these videos, there is a lot of moms out there who are probably feeling that isolation that you feel, and they're aspiring to create YouTube videos. What would maybe be a tip or two that you would give moms trying to start their own YouTube channel?
Okay. Well, I think the first thing is kind of think about what do you want your channel to be about, and maybe sit down and write down 5 videos that you think you could create. And what's interesting is you don't need to have 100 videos in place to create, to have a YouTube channel, but just a few, because all of a sudden your viewers start to engage with you and help you create your content and really help you steer your channel. But if you have an idea of what you want, and then of course the tech side of it,
Right.
Yeah,
get
there's the
yourself a
tech
camera.
side.
That's where my strength is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's, you find a camera that you feel like you're comfortable using, and an editing software, and just having a little bit of, information about lighting. And you don't have to have the lights, but if you're in natural light, where should you be sitting, and all that kind of stuff.
And you get to know what works for you.
So put a little research into it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this has been so great.
Yeah,
We've really enjoyed chatting with you.
It's so nice to chat with you, and clearly you know exactly what you're doing because you're so successful. It's just great to see your videos and great chatting with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So up next, we are going to be talking car seat safety, but specifically car seat safety in the winter.
Because it changes.
Yeah, stay with us. And if you want to follow Amanda Muse, you can find her on YouTube. Follow her. She has great videos.